Moho will show you how. Oh, Moho will show. Bingy bongy. Bingy
You ready to craft? It's crafting time.
Bingy bongy.
Hello and welcome to part 1 of our Brioche Crochet Basics course. Right, so in part 1 what we're going to have a look at is how we do the basic stitch, this brioche stitch, which creates this lovely chunky ribbed look. So let's get cracking. Right then, so the first thing that we want is some yarn. I am using a tube yarn so you can see the stitches nice and clearly. Whatever yarn you're using, you want to use a hook that is just 1 or 2 sizes bigger than recommended on the ball band, because this is quite a tight stitch and so we want it to be able to work it nice and loosely. So same again for our chain. We always start with quite a nice loose chain. I'm just going to do a few on here, so you do however many you have been instructed to do or however many you fancy. Right, so come along here. I'm going to chuck my wool on the floor. There we go. It's better. Right, so we're coming along. Now I have got to here. I'll pretend that's how many chains I wanted to do. It is. Now, normally when we're crocheting, we can go underneath this little top bar here. When we're using brioche crochet, it is a little bit better if we can go through the back humps of the chain, which can be a little bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, hopefully it will all be a bit easier. So let's have a look what that looks like. Right, let's have a look then. So your instructions on level on square 1 tell you that we were also going to need 2 stitch markers. You need 1 for the end of each row, and this is written in red on your pattern, and it says as soon as you work the first stitch of each row, place a marker in the front loop and move it up with each row. This will become your best friend, so just have a go. Right, so to do our brioche stitch, it's like a half treble and a slip stitch combined. Some people call it a 2-loop slip stitch, some people call it a yarn over slip stitch, some people call it a dwarf half treble. Whatever you want, we're calling it brioche stitch. So we start and we go wrap around and hold it back and keep it nice and loosey-goosey. I'm going underneath the back hump of my second chain, and then I'm going to wrap my yarn across my hook there and pull it back through 1. And then at this point, I want to slide them up my hook and give them a little wiggly wiggle. Now, we want to pull this first loop through number 2 and number 3, but I'm not going to do it this way because that way I'd have to push that forward and it gets a bit clunky. Instead, I'm going to raise up the back of my work there, so just so it's sitting up a little bit. I'm going to twist my hook backwards, very unusual, and I'm going to catch that first bar there. As you can see, I catch the first loop and I just pull it through the other 2, and then I spin my hook back towards me, and that's my stitch done. And you can see I get these lovely 2 bouncy loops. So we go again, wrap. Oh, as soon as you've done your first stitch, put your stitch marker in the front loop only of your first stitch. Lovely. So let's go again. So we go wrap, through, back, twist it backwards and push that bit up there. So I'm just pushing it up with my thumb and dip it through those 2 bars there. So let's go again, wrap, through, back, back. So there's only 1 wrap, wrap, through, back, twist it backwards, back, wrap, through, back. And this bit will feel weird, but the more that you do it, the more natural it will feel, and we want to keep it nice and loosey-goosey. So we're going wrap, through, back, back, wrap, oh, through, back, back. Okay, and we want this to be really bouncy, fluffy. If your rings, if your bars here are turning out a bit tight, you might need to go up a hook size or just work on having slightly lighter tension. You can see it's just resting on my finger here. I've not got it under a lot of tension. So we go all the way along to the end there, and then in the last one. And that's our first row done. And you can see it's this really nice stretchy fabric. We've got these 2 bars on this side. We've got these lovely bouncy bars on this side, which are the ones that we will be revealing to create the rib pattern. Lovely. So it says each row ends with 1 chain, but we don't want, because it's going to be a dense fabric, we don't want this chain to stick out. So we do a chain and then we're going to shrink it as small as we can make it. We need a chain to make it so we can work back into the stitch, but we don't want it to sort of physically exist. So if you stretch this backwards and forwards, pull that and then pull it tighter, you can see that that has disappeared down to pretty much nothing. And then we turn our work. Now from now on, all stitches are going to be worked in the back loop only. So as you look at your work, if you're holding it flat, you've got these 2 bars at the front. That one's not the back loop there. This is your bottom bar, that's your front bar, that's your back loop there. So we want to be going in the middle and out the back. So we go again. So it's in this first one here. Wrap, through, back, wiggly wiggle, and back through. And then as soon as you've done your first stitch, you put your stitch marker in the front loop only of that stitch. Lovely. So then we're going to go all the way along there. Same again, wrap, through the back loop, back, back. Wrap, through, back, twist it backwards, back. Lovely. If you twist it forwards, you do get a similar effect in the fabric, but it's a bit looser. You don't get quite as much definition on your bars that are sitting at the front. So it's worth learning the twisty backwards technique. Right, so we're coming along here all the way along. Let's get a bit more wool. Lovely. And why, I mean, I'm doing this is a super chunky, or very chunky. If this was in a thinner yarn, what would have happened by now is that this back loop here, where I put my stitch marker in when it was a front loop, would have sucked in and disappeared like that. And we'd get to the end of it and you'd go, oh, I've done this one and I'm done. When we've got a stitch marker in it, you can go, oh, hello, pull it up, take your stitch marker out, do your stitch in it. And then we know that we are keeping our same number. Most of the patterns for this are worked on, you can see it's already shrunk in there, that one. Most of the patterns for this are worked on a certain number of repeats. So if you start losing stitches at either end, the whole thing will just go a bit crazy. So we'll just show you one more how we turn around. So we go chain, tighten it down till it disappears, turn, do your first stitch, like that, and pop that in your front loop only. Right, so that's all there is to it. You are now ready to do square one. Off you go and enjoy yourself. Bye bye.
It's crafting time again. What's that? You don't know how to craft? Well, it's simple. You just let Moho show